Hello, I'm Stephen Reyes, and today we'll be taking a look at Steel Seed. So their tagline for the game is Steel Seed is a stealth action-adventure game set in a dark sci-fi world where humanity hangs on the brink of extinction. Join protagonist Zoe and her flying drone companion Koby, yes, we love Koby, as they investigate the depths of a hostile underworld facility in search of answers and the key to the survival of mankind. So yeah, they set up a big expectation and promise a lot. And so I'm going to start out with the things I enjoyed. That the world is massive. All the maps, everything, you kind of feel like an ant trying to traverse around the globe because everything is just so massive to run around, which looks great, but also kind of gets you in the end. And Koby is adorable. He responds with beeps, and your character can understand him even though we never truly know what he's saying. It's one of those, hey, like Chewbacca makes his noise and everybody knows what he says, but you never get a translation. But hey, he's adorable. So the game set up for a big expectation, but I think it fell short in a lot of places. That they had a great idea, cool mechanics for the fighting system, but it just seemed like they were trying to do too much all at once. That the first thing that really stood out to me was the camera movement. It didn't always move in the most flattering way, and I guess I did go into the settings to try to change it around and make it more comfortable to what I'm used to, but it still wasn't always forgiving in certain aspects where you expect the camera to move better, especially when you have to pretty much parkour almost everywhere as you're hanging like 50 stories in the sky. And even the maneuvering could kind of just be a little bit laggy. So I feel like whoever was doing their quality test missed a couple bugs or just didn't tell them they should smooth out some of the functions. The fighting is decent. You do get to change your suit, do upgrades on your character, but there are times where, like, even if you're fine, it kind of goes into slow motion. And I did do a check on my console just to make sure everything was running smoothly. That it just kind of sometimes forces you into a slow motion attack even if you didn't try it. So I feel like they saw some other games where it's like, here's some great cinematic stuff, we want to make it intense, but would add it to certain maneuvers that didn't need it, like the combo maneuver you're seeing. That was great. It gives you a combo to do, you execute it, you get a big finish, but other ones where you're just doing a regular swing, don't need to slow down for that. The story was decent. That I figured it out pretty fast, but I'm not going to spoil that for you. It actually was a nice, simple concept that you're used to, but it just took forever to get from point A to point B. That there's essentially 4 key things to kind of get to the end, and in order to achieve that, it takes a long time just to get from point A to point B. And I'm not talking about point A to point Z, I'm talking about point A to point B. That I played for like 3 hours before I finished one of the 4 main tasks. But yeah, I did go through it, finish it. That the story was entertaining, but I don't think it was strong enough to endure how much gameplay and walking and jumping you're doing, that you're spending most of your time just traveling. That I feel that they bit off a little bit more than they could chew, but they had a good idea, a decent system on visuals, but just didn't get the right mixture for their recipe. So I have to give this one like a 5 out of 10. That I did like what they were trying to do, but it just didn't come together properly. That the gameplay was a little just laggy and not smooth, and just kind of lost your interest with how long it took to get to places. That when I was saying that I took forever to get just to one of the main tasks, that you'd have a marker telling you where to go, you get there, and then instead of being like, hey, you finished this quest, select your next one and then start the next thing, the marker just keeps moving and moving and moving. I'm like, I would expect that to happen once I get like, hey, look, you completed this, now on to the next thing. So it just kept on dragging out. So I personally wasn't a fan. That I can't say get it, but go ahead and take a look at the trailer. Keep in mind that this will be a very long game and lots of travel and jumping. And if that's this type of stuff you're interested in, by all means, like, I didn't hate it, I just didn't really love it. So as I said, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. To go take a look for yourself and make your own decision. That is my review for Steel Siege. Thank you for watching. I'm Stephen Reyes.